Everybody, let me take these out. It makes my forehead look like a five head. Well, I don't really have a big forehead, I don't think, but it's either here or there. But anyways, I was watching if you guys know who Alexis Shook is, I'm watching one of his live streams and he was just like passing by and just saying something like, "Oh, like what would you do if you went on a date and your date was like, "Oh, can we do 50-50 for the bill?" And I was like, and he I think he was joking, but I don't know if he was joking, honestly. But I think he said something along the lines of like, well, if he's gonna make me pay 50-50, then I'm not putting out. And I was like, okay, like I mean, I don't know. The concept of like the I don't want to say the man, but like in heterosexual relationships, right? Like the man has to like put out, not put. Oh my god, can you imagine like slutting a man? Okay, no, but like essentially like the man has to like, like put out on all the bills and stuff and like has to pay for everything and stuff like that. That's something that I've always been like kind of, I don't know. I think I've been like, I don't know what the word is. I just question it a little bit because it's not because I'm like, oh yeah, men's rights or whatever the fuck, because I don't give a fuck about that, right? I don't really give a fuck about all that nonsense, but like, I just think about it in terms of like, what is the issue of doing 50-50? Just like in general, like you're okay. Okay, this is how my mind works, right? If you're dating, if you're like wanting to, get interested in someone, and if this is your first time meeting them, and this is like your first time ever like talking to them, and you don't really know this person, right? And so you're going to go on a date with them in a public place, and you guys are going to get food, and you're just it's just like you don't really know this person, and so why do you expect them to pay for you? Because for me, I don't really want to pay for somebody that I don't know. Like if I'm gonna meet someone like on Tinder or on Hinge or on Bumble or whatever the fuck, and I don't know you but I have an interest in you, it's like, well, I have an interest in you, but that doesn't mean that this is gonna go any further than that. Like it's always like up in the air. And so I don't know why there's like this expectation for one person within the party to pay for something, like fully. Because it's like, well, both of us are just meeting each other and both of us agreed to do this and both of us are still new to this and both of us obviously are on the same like date and on the same experience and doing the same things. And so I think that like if you're going to go on a date with someone, I think that 50-50 is probably the best way to go because one, it gives you personal accountability and it doesn't really put you in a position to, like put out. I don't want to say it like that, but like it kind of seems like that, right? Like if you're gonna go on a date with someone and okay, just let's pretend we're in a heterosexual relationship, okay? I know some of y'all are like, oh, but come on, man, girl, no, I'm kidding. But like, just okay, for this example, we're gonna keep it heterosexual because like I'm not really sure if this applies to like gay or lesbian relationships because I personally have never been in one, and I've never been in a heterosexual relationship either, but I do have friends and acquaintances that are in these relationships, and I do get secondhand dating because my friends, they like to tell me whatever the fuck, right? And so I have a little bit more experience with heterosexual relationships just in that sense, but like personally I've never really been on a date, so I wouldn't know. But like this is all theoretical and this is just me spitting because like it's not like I'm like out here like doing a TED talk about, oh, you should do this and that. It's just like my thoughts, my opinions. So if you guys are like, ew, no, what the fuck with this and that, like leave it in the comments, but like don't be fucking weird about it, okay? But anyways, like I think that, so like if you are a woman going on a date with a man and the man is going to take care of the bill, and so there is a sort of kind of not, there's like an insinuation that you are, if he's gonna pay for the bill, then you have to provide something else for him, if that makes any sense. Like there's like this like that, not dichotomy, there's like this like expectation that like if he fronts your bill, if he is the one that's paying for your meal, paying for the service, paying for whatever the fuck, then you are to give him something in return. Like you are like, and that is something that I personally do not like. I don't like being indebted to anybody. I don't like the thought of somebody like not taking care of me, because that's not what it is, right? But I don't like the idea of a stranger. Like even if I'm on a date with you for only like 2 hours, you are still a stranger to me. Like I don't know your parents, I don't know your brothers, I've never met anyone in your life other than you, and so I don't know a lot about you. So I still consider you as a stranger, despite like being on the date with you for like 2 hours, right? And so I don't want to have that like I don't want to say like accountability, but I don't want to have it like that like kind of like thing on like another person. So I would rather front my own bill and have and be like confident in the fact that I'm able to kind of pay for myself. I have this like kind of like self accountability. I have that like autonomy and I have my independence. And so when I'm not able to pay for my own bill, I'm like, okay, like I like it makes me feel as if I have to like give something back, you know, instead of, you know, just being able to pay for my own meal. Like, what if I order like a fucking steak, it is $40 and he orders a fucking salad that's like $10, you know? Like, that's just not right. And so I think that, well, in that case, I think that it shouldn't be 50-50 because then he's going to front out like more than what he paid. I think that you should pay for what you order, you know? Because like if you're going to go on a date and you're going to be like, wow, I'm going to treat myself, this and that, and then you expect someone else to pay for your treat, I don't think that's correct. And I'm not saying this to like diss any of you ladies out there that like likes to be treated nice and stuff like that. Like if that's something that you want to do, like look for a man that's willing to do that for you, because there are some men out there that do not want to do that, and so you have to you have to be really selective in you got to basically just have to find someone who has the same values as you. Like find a man that wants to like treat a woman, and not treat a woman but like wants to do that, you know? Like if they are willing to do so, then find a man that's willing to do so and is not consenting, because I don't think that's I mean I guess consenting, but someone that is like knowingly coming into it and being like, okay, I'm paying for this bill, you are not gonna have to cover anything, and you like it's up to you if you want to put out, it's up to you if you want to do whatever the fuck, you know? It's your personal like autonomy or whatever the fuck. But like in general, I don't understand why it's like this like societal like expectation for someone to like cover the bill, and then why it's icky for someone to be like, oh no, like I don't want to cover this bill for you, like we do 50-50. Like what does that say about the person? Does that make them seem cheap? Because for me, if I was on a date and if my date were to be like, can we do 50-50, I'd be like, okay, whatever the fuck, call it a fucking night. Because it's like I'm like, well, it's like, well, I'm on this date with you and we're doing this together, and it's not like you're just like treating me right, because this is like a us thing, you know? We're doing this together, and therefore I want to make sure that I'm paying for my part, you know? And it's not like I'm like strapped for cash. Like if I'm going to go on a date, I'm going to make sure I have money to go on the date, because I don't want to go on a date and be like kind of like trapped in this like space where I'm like, oh shit, like what if he wants to do 50-50 and I don't have the money? I'm gonna like, it's gonna be super uncomfortable making him have to pay and stuff like that. And so if I'm gonna go somewhere, I'm gonna be ensured that I have enough to cover my part, and I'm gonna like be conscious about like what I'm ordering and making sure that I can afford what I'm buying, you know? Like I don't want to like overshoot and be like, oh wow, like I'm on a date with this dude, he seems like he's really loaded and whatnot, and he's definitely, I don't want to make assumptions, right? I don't want to make assumptions and be like, oh, he's definitely going to pay for my bill, and order like a fucking filet mignon or whatever the fuck, and end up like having to front my own bill and having only like $10 in my account. All right, so I want to make sure that I have enough in my account or whatever the fuck, because like there are times where I'm like going out of the house and I'm like, I have $10 right now, and I don't know what to and so that's just how I think. But I understand that like there's like a culture of like of like chivalry, is that what it's called? I don't even know if it's called chivalry, but it's like kind of like, as a man you should be paying. Like why are you as a man paying for a woman's why are you as a man not paying for a woman's meal? And I don't really think of it as, I don't really subscribe to that, honestly. I don't really subscribe to that. And like I said, that's not because I'm a metamist or whatever the fuck. It's not because I'm over here fucking sucking men's dick for a living, okay? I think that it's because if you are a feminist as well, won't you want to pay for your own bill? Like don't you want accountability? Don't you want like that self-reliancy? Don't you want that like dependency, not on a man, but like independence on yourself? Like when I think about it, I'm like, it feels almost kind of like it feels pressuring as a woman to have a man pay for my meal, you know? Because it's like, okay, I don't mean this like as overall, I mean this is as like, even if it was a woman as well. If I was on a date with a woman and she was like, I want to front the bill for you, I'll be like, no, we can do 50-50 and I'll be happy with that, because I don't want you to take on the whole like bill and like have to pay for it out of your pocket, because what if this doesn't work out, this and that, you know? Like I want to make sure that, you know, like I'm not like I want to make sure it's an enjoyable process for them too. And if it's like, I don't know. I think about it a lot, not a lot, but like I think about it like in both terms. So it goes for both genders for me, but like overall, you know. And so where was I going with that? And yeah, and so I just don't really understand that like concept of like getting that like the ick when someone doesn't want to pay the bill for you. It's like I'm like, I don't understand that, but at the same time I might like it comes down to like having different values and different like whatever the fuck, right? Like I come from a like it okay, I think it like it really does depend, but like when I'm going out with my friends or whatever, right? They're my friends and I trust them and I trust them enough to like, oh, like they have my back and stuff like that. And so if I front the bill for them and they're and if I front the bill for them, it's whatever the fuck, right? Because next time that I hang out with them, they're the one who fronts the bill, and we kind of do that back and forth. But it's because I have trust that they're responsible and they are, they're responsible and they're good people, and then so they'll always kind of pay me back in a way, and it doesn't feel like they're taking advantage of me and stuff like that, and I'm always like reassured when it comes to my friends that the money will eventually come back, like not really, but like because I hang out with them like regularly, and so it'll always kind of like cycle. And then for me it's not really about the money at the end of the day. Like if we're going out and I'm buying them a boba drink, and it's like I don't really care about that, honestly. Like I like, for me it's like it's nice if they pay me back, but at the same time it's like I don't really care, and I don't hold that against them either. I'm not like, oh, like I can't believe like you did this to me, like you did me so badly, and you fucking did this and that when I fucking pay for all of your shit, this and that. Like that is disgusting. Never ever fucking do that. If you're like financially like guilting someone, yeah, it's nasty, because I've like witnessed that from some people. It's like, oh, like I bought you this, I bought you that, like I do everything for you, and then you're just gonna do this and that. It's like, bro, like you chose to do that shit. Like no one's like holding a gun to your fucking head and forcing you to buy something for somebody. Like for me, whenever I buy my friend a drink, I buy my friend a snack or whatever, I'm doing that because they're my friend and I want to give them something, and it's coming from a genuine like, not affection, because it's not like I want to fuck my friends, but it's like it's coming from a genuine like bro, like I care for you, and I really want you to have this thing, and I think you would like it, and I know it would make you happy, so I want to buy it for you. And that's all it comes down to. And for me, that's something that I want to do, and I would never hold that against them. I would never be like, oh bro, like I bought you this and that, like you owe me this and that. And it's like, bro, no, like I chose to do that for them, and so there's no point, and there's no reason for me to like expect them to pay me back, because it's coming out of, it's kind of like a gift, I don't really expect people to like me back for a gift. It's weird. And like I get it and then for me, I do get like a little bit uncomfortable when people are like, oh, I'll buy that for you, or like I'll buy this for you, like I'll comp your meal, like it just, I'm just like, oh no, like you don't have to do that. Like because like at the end of the day, I have enough money to cover for myself, and like it's not like I'm like, oh, like you're poor, don't pay for me, like I have money, this and that. No, it's like if I have the resources to like kind of take care of myself, I will do so. And like I want to save those moments for when I don't have the means, and like have the ability to kind of reach out, because it's nice to know that I have people around me that are able to kind of take care of me, and like like want me to like have fun with them, because there are times where I don't like have money to go out. My friends were like, just fucking come and we'll pay for you, and I'm like, okay. Like it's really nice to have that access, like people who are willing to just like pay for you because they want you to be there, not, it kind of, oh my god, it makes it sound like a slut. No, like it just like, pay for you because essentially they care about you, and at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter about the money to them. It matters that you're there and you're experiencing the same thing as them, and so I think that the issue at the end of the day for me when it comes to like that type of stuff is that I think the idea just like the thing that like irks me is that it just all comes down to like money. It comes down to money, and whether the man or like the person that's like paying the bill is like being cheap or not. Like I honestly would not care. Like if I was going out with a person, right, and they were like, can you pay the entire bill for me, I would be like, no. Like no, I like you ordered like a $30 like fucking pasta, while I only ordered like what, like $10 or something, and you're expecting me to pay for your entire fucking meal. Like you're sick in the head. Like I'll pay half, I'll do 50-50 because maybe I'm feeling generous that day, but like honestly I'd rather just pay for my own meal. And I don't really care if that makes me seem cheap or not, because honestly, like I don't really care if the other person does it for me either. So it's like, I think it just comes down to like finding someone that like has the same kind of mindset as you. Because if you're going to go out with someone who's like, what's that one phrase? It's called like sprinkle, like I think it's like women that like to like be treated by men, like be like, I don't know what the word is, like being like spoiled by men, essentially, like having like a sugar daddy or some sort like that. Like if you're gonna go on a date with someone like that, like yeah, you're gonna obviously expect to be paid to like pay the entire meal, because you're going out with somebody who wants that. And if you are a person that wants that, then but like if you're going out with somebody like that is has the sprinkle mindset, but you're like the 50-50 mindset, then perhaps reassess. And then it's like it's kind of douchey if you bitch about that too. Like if you're a 50-50 person and you go on a date with a sprinkle person, then it's like, bro, like what you set yourself up for. Like you were talking to this girl and you were like, oh wow, like she's like this type of girl, and you're not that type of guy, then why the fuck are you going on the date and then you're gonna bitch about it afterwards? Be like, oh, I can't believe that girl expected me to like do this and that and she didn't even fucking put out. It's like, girl, just because she's like expecting you to pay the bill doesn't mean like she's expecting you like she's gonna put out at the same time. It's like she just wants her bill comped. I don't know. It goes both ways, and I think about it like a decent amount to the point where I'm like, I don't really know if that's like something that I don't know. I think that's one of the things about like dating that like really puts me off. And like there's other things about dating as well that's like I'm not really a big fan of. Like the idea of like I don't know, like a situationship, that idea pisses me off. And I've never been in one, but I'm pretty sure like people that have been in one also gets pissed off at that concept as well. Hold on, let me take a sip. I'm getting dehydrated. I'm drinking this LaCroix right now. It's a tangerine LaCroix. It's pretty good. I forget how good LaCroix is because I've been drinking Polar for the last couple of weeks. But like LaCroix has some, it's pretty good. But like, what was I talking about? Oh, look, I have a little can you even see that? It's like blending into my skin, but I have a little pimple patch. I usually never use them, but they're actually like kind of fun. I don't know, they're a little fun because I like peeling them off and having the white shit on them. It's so yummy. But anyways, back to the topic. Yeah, like the topic of like situationships, like it makes me angry listening to all of you guys talk about your situationships because I'm like, you guys deserve to like be treated better. And it just sucks to like see all of these people like men, women, they, them, whatever the fuck, men, women, they, them. I feel like there's a term like non-binary, not women, men, non-binary. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm like losing it. Anyways, but it sucks to like see all of these people being treated like not well. Like it's really sad. And there's been like some like research coming out about like Gen Z not having like enough sex or some shit. And I don't really care about that. That's not something I care about. But like I think it's more so the like the lack of like intimacy and the lack of relationships and a lack of like like I think that people are deserving of like having romantic relationships and being treated well and stuff like that. But I think that in our time and age, like there are so many expectations that are like put within the dating world, and it's really hard to like stamp, like it's really hard to it's really hard to like be able to like fit those standards. It's really hard to kind of like do things as they are written, if that makes any sense. Like I for me it's like I would rather just kind of go the unconventional way and just really just do things my way instead of doing things as they should be, because it's like, oh, like you're going on that date with him like right away or something like that. There's so many rules that comes with dating, and I'm just like I'd rather just kind of do things my own way. Like, why is it weird if I want to like pay for my own meal? Why is it weird if I like don't want to text you every single day? Why is it weird if I don't know, like don't want to meet your parents right away? Why is it weird? And like I don't know, like there's so many rules I'm just learning about like recently. Like a lot of my friends are in relationships, and of course it's there's a lot of issues that arise, and it's really interesting to kind of listen to like what they expect from a relationship, because I mean it varies from person to person, obviously. Like some people really value their significant other meeting their family like right away, because they think it's important that their significant other meets their family right away and see how well they mesh, because maybe family's a big value for them. But for other people it's like, oh, like I don't want you to meet my parents until we're like engaged and married. And I might be one of those people, because it's not like I'm like ashamed of my partner or like I'm ashamed of like my family. It's just like I don't really feel a need to like mix them together, because it's not like I spend a lot of time with my family anyways, and so what's the point of having them meet, And so yeah, that's how I see it. I don't know, but like I said, it comes down to person, and yeah. but I don't know how like big of a concept this is in the dating world. Like when you go on a date of like if the man should be comping, if the woman should be comping, if like this and that, if like if 50-50 is like acceptable, if like paying for your own meal is acceptable. I don't really know what the consensus is, but I do know that like I have guy friends and they are all like, "Oh, I just pay for my girl's meal because that's because I just want to treat my girl," you know? But it's like it's because that's their girl, you know, like that's their girl and it usually goes both ways as well because I think the girl also pays for like their man's meal as well. And so I don't know, but like I think it really like it comes down to like when you first meet them. I think my question pertains to when you like first go on like a first date with them and there's like this like expectation of like either them paying or you paying. Like why can't it be like both of us paying? Like what is the issue with like both of us paying? You know, like I've never really understood why, and that's why I'm kind of coming on here and asking why. Like I don't really understand like what the issue is. I'm not being like, oh my god, like what? I'm just asking like genuinely because like I don't really understand why that's such a big issue, um, because like yeah, like I don't know why like we as a society like hold like such a high standard for like for like you know like one person having to like pay a bill or something. I don't know, like like for me, if it was a friend and they're like, oh bro, like I can't cover this meal, I'd be like, I got you. But like even then, when I go with my friends and they have the ability to pay for their meal, they'll be like, okay, you want to split the bill, and I'll be like, yep, and then that's it. Like I don't know why like the idea of like finances have to like come up so early. And but like at the same time I think that like there's like been some advice out there that's like you have to meet someone that has the same like financial mindset as you because I mean, but that makes sense. You know, that makes sense. Like, you don't really want to get hitched with somebody that's like, you know, like a fucking big baller that wants to like spend all of their income when you're like a frugal motherfucker, you know? And there's nothing wrong with being either, but it's like you have to make sure you're like partnered up with the same person with the same mindset because it's going to cause issues in the future. And from what I hear, I think like financial like disputes is like one of the biggest factors within divorce, which is unfortunate because I think that a lot of emphasis is put on money, and I think that you know it's kind of stressful. It's very stressful to like be in a relationship and have money be like a big stressor because I don't know. I feel like money shouldn't be a big stressor, but it is. It is. I like I understand because for me, money is also a big stressor. But I wish it wasn't. You know, I wish that we lived in a world where like money wasn't like something that people had to worry about. Like I wish people didn't have to worry about like having to pay their taxes, having to pay their bills, having to pay for their groceries, having to pay for this and that. Like I wish people were able to just kind of you know pay for them but not worry for them, you know. But like nowadays it's a big reality that like people have to worry about these type of things instead of you know dealing with things that like fulfill them, like you know like finding relationships, having hobbies and stuff like that. It's a really sad concept. And yeah, so if you guys are out in the dating world right now, I'd be really interested to see like to like hear at least like what the dealio is in that case because you know it's a wicked world out there, man. It's a wicked world. But at the same time, I do like listening to all the drama that goes down because you know it's it's a crazy landscape. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about. I just want to come on here and just talk a little bit about that. And yeah, that's all. All right, kisses.